Good morning everyone. I am Madhvi once again here to teach you the second key concept from the topic India Relief Features. In previous class we have learned the first key feature of Indian location and its geographical location importance led to the varied varieties of vegetation. Okay, so in this topic we will learn about the geological background, that means geo means earth and its formation, how earth have formed its various landforms. Okay, the landforms on the earth is only possible with three important factors. One is weathering, erosion and deposition. What is the meaning of weathering? Okay, when the landmass or the harder landmass which is broke down into the pieces, it splits down, it is called as weathering. Okay, just see here I have drawn the picture. It is a kind of a mountain, okay, with two agents with their extreme pressure. One is air and water exposed to the extreme pressure on this high landmass and broke down into the pieces which is called as weathering. That broke down pieces will be carried from one place to another place is called as erosion. Okay, and these eroded particles will be deposited in the low lying areas which is called as deposition. Okay, so the three factors, one is weathering, that means the highly elevated landmass broke down, which is called as degradation, carried away that particles called as erosion, depositing at one place which is called as deposition. This deposition is resulting in lifting up the land which is called as aggradation, and weathering down is leading to reduce the elevation which is called as degradation. See, in this degradation and aggradation process, the form of the land and its relief being changed, right? So let us see the different geological forms took place on the earth. Okay, if you just check into the world map, I have drawn a rough world map over here, and in this map we can see there are the large land masses and we call them as continents. So we have how many continents? We have 7 continents, right? North America, South America, Africa, Europe, Asia and Australia. As for the geologists and their study, they says that whatever the present land masses which are scattered in the form of continents were actually formed from a single land mass. Okay, and this single land mass, the northern part of that land mass was called as Angara and the southern part of it was called as Gondwana. Okay, and what all the northern continents we see, like North America, Europe and Asia, they are part of Angara lands. Okay, and all the southern continents like South America, Africa, okay, and Australia, they are part of Gondwana lands as per the geologists their study. Okay, and they says that not only these 3 continents but southern part of India, are you seeing the peninsular part of India? This is also part of Gondwana land. Okay, and especially the Gondwana land was keep on moving towards the northeastern side. You have remembered in grade 9 you have learned that the tectonic plates keeps on moving and change the landforms. Okay, so whatever the single landform was there earlier, okay, which was north part was called Angara and southern was called Gondwana, they have broke down into the large land masses and formed these all continents. Okay, and in the same way the southern part of India was also part of Gondwana land, and Gondwana land was moving in a position from south to northeast direction. Okay, so this is what I have drawn southern part of India, the south part of peninsular India, which was Gondwana land, which was part of Gondwana land, and north part of India which was part of Angara land. And if you see, this is the Angara land, and this plate was called as Eurasian plate. Okay, this Angara part, that means north part of India, is nothing but it is part of Eurasian plate. It is part of Eurasian plate. Okay, so the north part of Angara land, that means Eurasian plate, and the southern part, that means the Gondwana land. As the Gondwana land mass was moving towards the northeast direction, it have got collision with Angara lands and Gondwana lands. And what happened because of this collision? The large part of Gondwana land has got under compression and formed Himalayas. I will just show you. Here I have a book, okay, and I'll try to compress them with my two thumbs, both the sides, okay. I'll try to press them, and this is how Himalayan mountains forms. Okay, how they have formed? Himalayan mountains, whatever we see the Himalayan mountains in India, they have formed with the compressions, and they have got folded and lifted up in the form of Himalayas. Did you understand why Himalayas are called as fold mountains? They are being compressed and folded and lifted up in the form of mountains. So they are called as fold mountains. Okay, so I have prepared aid. Okay, this is a model of the fold mountains. Are you seeing the layers of folded part, folded plate? Okay, folded part, and this, because of this compression from both the sides, it's got compressed and lifted up in the form of mountain. Okay, let us put this model over here and imagine that these are Himalayas. Okay, the compression took place from both the sides. Okay, when Gondwana land was moving towards the northeast direction, it got collision with the Angara land, that means Eurasian plate, and it's got compressed and formed as folding and lifted up, forming Himalayas. Okay, when these plates are lifted, are being compressed and lifted up, okay, leaving south part of Himalayas as valleys, leaving south part of Himalayas as valleys, because these all layers, these all plates has been moved and got compressed and lifted up, formed Himalayan ranges, and leaving the southern part of Himalayas as valleys. It was a depressed form. Okay, it's a kind of a valley. Okay, so gradually what happened from Himalayas, whatever the rivers were coming down, they were bringing a lot of silt. That sediments were being deposited over here and lifted up and formed as northern plains. So how do the northern plains formed in India? That is all because of the sediments deposited in the foot of Himalayas. Did you understand? So we have learned that how Himalayan ranges formed and how northern plains formed. In course of time, a large basin filled with sediments and formed Indo-Gangetic plain. Whatever the northern plain has been formed, what will the two major rivers have played very important role in depositing and forming the northern plains? One is Indus river and the another one is Ganges. So Indus and Ganges, these were the two rivers and their tributaries, okay, brought lot of silt and deposited in the foot of Himalayas and filled this valley part, filled this depressed part and lifted up and formed northern plains. So these plains are otherwise called as Indo-Gangetic plain. Okay. Now when you come to the southern part of India, that means peninsular India, yes, it is part of Gondwana land. The peninsular plateau is one of the most ancient land blocks on Earth's surface. So this peninsular India, that means peninsula means a landmass which covered with three sides of water bodies. So this peninsular India, which is a plateau, which is called as the ancient most part on the Earth's surface itself. So by this we have completed two key concepts. Okay, the first one was location of India, and the second one was the geological and its formation and their factors. Okay, and we have learned all the background on what basis this geological formation took place on the earth. Now the third key concept is about the major relief divisions. Do you remember in the previous class I have said the major relief divisions are of 6 divisions. Okay, the first one is Himalayas, Indo-Gangetic Plain and Peninsular Plateau. These are the 3 topics already we have discussed over here and its formation. Okay, in detail we will learn about these 3 relief divisions in the next class, and the other 3 divisions, 3 relief divisions are deserts, coastal plains and highlands. Thank you for the day.